Hi, I'm Jenna Swope. Welcome back to Keeping It Jiggy with Jenna. Today we're here to discuss if the men's national team is ready for the World Cup. To discuss that with me today, I have Macy and Emerson Burris. Emerson, what are your thoughts on this issue?
The U.S. men's national team has one of the most talented teams in recent history, but after the final tune-up games before Qatar with a loss to Japan and having a draw to Saudi Arabia, I think we have a lot to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think there's definitely a lack of offensive firepower, which is mostly due to manager Greg Berhalter's struggle to find a reliable striking option. But on the bright side, we won't have to rely solely on our strikers. Whenever Christian Pulisic and Timothy Weah are healthy, those guys are more than capable of scoring from the wings.
Do either of you think that Coach Greg is just focusing too much on the beginner players and not focusing on the team as a whole?
Yeah, for the last couple of years, Berhalter has been focusing on young talent such as Christian Pulisic, like you mentioned, and a lot of these players have a lack of international experience. Yes, they have EuroLeague and MLS games under their belt, but I don't think they have a lot of international experience.
I know. What about you, Macy?
We also have Ricardo Pepi. He is only 19 years old, and he is a pretty reliable player after scoring 3 goals in his first 2 international appearances.
I definitely think that the coaching needs to be a little bit stronger so that we prepare ourselves, because another question I have for you guys is, what do you think if this goes south, it's going to do for the men's national team's reputation?
I think it's going to do a lot of bad things for their reputation. A lot of the views are going to go down and fans are going to lose interest, and maybe that'll be a good thing for the women's team. Maybe they'll switch over and start supporting the women's team, but I think that when they get to the first stage, they're playing Iran, Wales, and England, and Wales is stacked with a bunch of English Premier League talent, such as Gareth Bale, who's easily one of the best in the world over the past decade, and I think we're going to be really lucky if we can make it out of that first group stage.
What about you, Macy?
Yeah, I completely agree. I do think that it will definitely take a toll on the team's reputation as a whole, especially to those other international teams.
Yeah, I definitely think that the United States isn't always, especially in the sport of soccer, we're definitely not always known as being potentially the best, just because outside of the United States, soccer is a bigger deal where we do have other sports we spend a lot of time on. So we have to keep our just stance in it and our place, and if we mess that up, then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to work on. Going back to when we play England, they're a World Cup powerhouse. They've done very good in the past few World Cups, and I just think that we have a lot to work on before November 20th.
Definitely a lot to work on, but that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Macy and Emerson Burris, for joining us. I'm Jenna Swope, and that was Keeping It Jiggy with Jenna. Have a great night.